Jackson rose to fame on the Disney Channel, starring hit shows like Jessie and Bunked. Since then, her fan base has grown to more than, well, just 6 million Instagram followers.
And since many of her fans are teens themselves, she's sharing her best advice with them in a new book called Reach for the Sky.
Yeah, we're going to chat with Sky in just a moment. But first, she recently teamed up with her Disney Channel pal Joshua Rush to talk candidly with other kids about what it's like being a teen in 2019. Take a look.
Do you think that it's a good time to be a teenager in the world?
I think there's a lot of things that teenagers have to do these days, like go to school and then balance social life and sports and whatever else kids are doing. I think it's kind of hard, but it's still like fun even though you're busy.
I mean, I feel like it's a lot harder to interact with people nowadays because, we have phones. It's a lot harder to, get people, to know them.
And do you guys feel like you're addicted to your phone?
I'm always on my phone. It's a problem. But if I have to, I could put it down. I can give it a break.
You know, you can check your screen time.
Oh. Yeah,
I have a lot of hours on my
Me
screen
too.
time.
Mine is like 13 hours.
Yeah, I try to avoid mine. Mine's like at 9 or 10.
Okay, so we have some questions that actual parents ask that they want to know from teens. Has social media ever made you feel bad about yourself, and how?
I think if you see your friends are out somewhere and you're not with them, that kind of make you feel bad, and I guess that's enabled by social media.
As a person, you want to be a leader. Yeah. You never want to be someone who's always following in the shadow of another person.
Do you think that parents hover too much? It's a yes for me.
Yeah, I totally agree.
As a parent, you should always be involved. I feel like you should never not be involved. I feel like you should always have that bond with your child for them to be able to feel comfortable enough to actually go to you and speak to you about how they feel.
How safe do you feel in our culture?
I feel safe, but I know that the world with social media and the internet is really big and wide. So there's a lot of unknown, I guess, that could be scary.
I feel as though you have to also be aware as well. You have to be aware of the people that surround you, be aware of what's going on around you, and always expect the unexpected.
What are the other issues that you think are the most important things that our generation is going to need to solve?
I feel as though depression is also a major thing for teens. A lot of people that I know, and a lot of teens in general that have been going through depression, just need to come together and support one another.
We got a lot of parents watching. What would be your advice to parents raising a teenager?
You should always be there for your child, but you should let them go through their mistakes, go through their problems, because when it's time for them to be independent, they're not going to know how to because they always had their parent to do everything for them.
You want to be understood as a person, not just as a teenager.
Yes.
Right.
Allow them to make their own mistakes. Also give them that time to discover who they are as a person as well.
That is so great. And Sky is joining us here. That was terrific.
Yes.
So many, having had teenagers myself, it's hard oftentimes to get your teenagers to open up,
Right.
particularly boys. What's your best advice on that?
My best advice on just opening up is just to don't be afraid. If you're feeling a certain way, don't be scared to tell your parent. I know I used to be that way, but I feel like it's really important to go to your parent and talk about certain things because they might enlighten you on certain topics that you might not fully know about.
Well, you know what's funny? I'm looking at you and I see this crazy confident kid. You're sitting here on the Today Show set. You're interviewing people. And I looked and I thought, well, not every kid is confident from the minute they come into this world.
Right.
Were you always confident? Did something sort of propel you into this confidence?
No, actually, I wasn't always confident of myself, but I feel like my mom has definitely helped me a lot in that.
How did she help you?
Just talking to me on the daily and just letting me know, you're beautiful. Don't be afraid to go out there, search the world, do what you have to do. So I was like, okay, I'm going to take that with me. And ever since then, I've kind of just been the confident person that I am.
Most of the kids there talked, and you said you looked at your phone. It was 13 hours the other day, how long you spent on the phone. How big of a problem is this, and what should parents know about kids with their phones?
I feel like us being on our phones is a problem. It takes away from us doing our homework and just daily activities that we need. Mine was 13 hours, which I feel like is really bad. But I went down to 8 hours a day, which I feel like that's a lot better than 13. But I feel like our parents should maybe sometimes take our phones away, or even at nighttime. Like my mom has done it before. At past 10:30, she's like, "All right, give me your phone," and then you have the night's rest that you really need. And then I'm like, "Oh, thank goodness."
Some people don't like their phones being taken away.
I know, I don't.
With my
I
kids.
don't, but it helps. I'm like, okay, if I had my phone, I would have been up all night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Sky. Well, thank you for hanging with us. We appreciate you. Thanks for doing those interviews, too. To check out Sky's book, head to today.com/